Greetings! What is up? And a very warm welcome to that channel. The sun is hiding and the magpie is casting. Coming to you guys right now with a live 1 versus 1 battle featuring spawning in the west. Wait, hang on a second. This is the east. I remember how compasses work. It is going to be the Overcommand West forces of PanzerGrenadierAngreifen. And spawning in the east, playing as the United Kingdom forces, it is going to be CoH's HelpingHans. Yep, two stalwart players here. Definitely PanzerGrenadierAngreifen has been cast a number of times on the channel. He is a competent, capable, downright determined Axis commander. I almost always see him playing Wehrmacht and Overcommand. Very rarely do I see him delve into the Allied forces. I'm racking my brains to try and... I'm not going to say I've never seen him play allies, but I can't remember seeing him play allies right now. So anyway, yeah, definitely knows what he is about when it comes to commanding German men to be ruthless and effective on the battlefield. HelpingHans, of course, a slightly more prolific player. I'm sure probably, well, or certainly more famous, I would have thought. Many more of you probably familiar with him than PanzerGrenadierAngreifen. HelpingHans, he is a Brit like myself, and he is also a very talented commander when it comes to telling the Queen's men how to brutalize Germans on the field. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing how HelpingHans is going to muster his UKF in this battle. He's been playing United Kingdom forces as his favoured allied faction, I want to say, for quite a long time now. So he's pretty good with them, and it's always good to watch his builds and take some notes and see what it is that he is going to be doing. So to that end, let's take a look at the armies that these two players have under their belts as the initial scuffles get underway here. Looks like the Axis player, he's gone for Volks into Kubelwagen, second squad of Volks just now coming out there, so, you know, nothing too extreme. We haven't got double Kubel or anything nuts coming out here for the Overcommand player. For HelpingHans, looks like it's Tommy's into Vic. Let me just see. Actually, no, that would have been... yeah, that is Tommy's, that's Tommy's into Vickers gun, yeah, sorry. So again, yeah, nothing insane from HelpingHans. I myself tend to go for the Vickers gun first, just because that way you can, you know, dash it into a god building on the map. But then I am much bigger of a noob, and so that makes a bigger difference to me than it does to HelpingHans, probably. This Kubelwagen here is going to get a nice engagement against these Tommies. They're going to try and get into a building, but Tommies are quite expensive and reasonably fragile. They're being flustered here by Volks and a Kubelwagen. They're going to take this opportunity to GTFO. Can't blame Hans for that one there. Does make a lot of sense, and he's going to play that one defensively. Vickers gun in a nice position. He's going to reface the arc in advance of his opponent coming, and that is actually going to make a difference here because these, or as it might have done, those Volks Grenadiers actually seemingly knowing better than to just run out into fog of war, into an area of the map that is almost always covered by an MG when you're playing against Brits. So, some sensible stuff there from Angreifen. And we've got a moment of quiet here, so I'm just going to crack the tech and take a look at the map control here. Looks like Hans has secured 2 of the VPs, so the VP flow is going to be favouring him. But it's the Axis player who has a fuel point connected for longer, so a fuel lead will be developing here for PanzerGrenadierAngreifen, which will be nice. He's also going to probably decap Hans's fuel point here, slightly frustrating for the British player. And that is, of course, the sound of the first Schwerwehrmacht Schlepper moving on out onto the field here. So we're going to get a look here at what PanzerGrenadierAngreifen wants to do with regards to teching. Is he going to go for the battle gripper? Is he going to go for the mechanized regiment? Both very viable on this map. I kind of fancy the mechanized regiment right now, based on nothing other than I just really want to see some Pumas and stuff doing things. Ooh, Schumann 42s here in a pretty spicy location. Kubelwagen here on the bait. Going to be trying to lure in some of these British units to their demise. Here comes Hans right now. Tommy's going to rest on this tree here to get their rate of fire bonus. Kubel's going to kite back, and that may prompt the Tommies to come forwards. Wow, range on those Tommies actually looking. I think that must be like maximum range. Getting really good damage actually. I'm not sure if Angreifen knows that his Kubelwagen's still in range here. He's going to need to pay it some attention in just a second. Ooh, coming forwards is a touch risky here. Taking a few hits, but the Storm Pioneers are in the hood, and they're going to do some repairs here momentarily. One Tommy gets blown to bits, another one gets wounded on those mines, so a touch frustrating there. For Hans, he's going to use the med kits, which he already had on those Tommies, to repair that damage. Angreifen going to grab this fuel point, though. He's getting quite spicy with his movement here. This is very nice. Kubelwagen does get picked off, though. Royal Engineers running around this corner, gonna get the kill on the light vehicle. Actually didn't see that coming. I didn't think that was gonna happen, but looks like Angreifen slightly remiss. Should have kept it reversing, I think, for a little while longer. Now we've got an SAS sniper with the 55 cal sniper rifle. Gonna be moving onto the field here for HelpingHans. So who has actually got himself a more than 50-point victory point lead, which you know, the Allies are usually the aggressors. They're usually the move makers. It's like playing white in chess. They are usually like on the front foot in your average game. So it's no surprise to see them take a victory point lead. But when you're playing as British forces, that sort of opening strength is oh wow, hang on a second, I'm just going to stop talking about that because we've got a nice engagement from these Volksgrenadiers. Going to catch out a Vickers gun. Storm Pioneer is going to chase in, and that was a very astute fallback there from Hans. Just going to no interest in trying to take that fight with the Vickers there. Going to keep the very pricey MG safe. So that's pretty good. Battle Group at HQ, by the way, was the tech of choice here. But as I was just saying about the British forces, to finish my thought from just now, the UKF are like the least powerful in the early game, I would say, of all the allied factions. I mean, that's whoa, oh, PanzerGrenadierAngreifen spawns some some Jaeger light infantry here and just picks off Hans's sniper. Oh, that was so brutal. Hans even saw it and fell back, but the sniper round from the Jaeger light infantry. Damn! Oh, that was spicy. And Greifen, that's so harsh. That's so harsh. That's made Hans's army look so much worse without that sniper now. And there's a frickin' flak half track coming, which that sniper could have been really useful against. Oh, gross. Ugh. But anyway, if these guys could stop having such an epic game, so I could finish that thought from earlier. Yeah, the UKF have the least early aggression, the least power in the early game. So to secure this much of a victory point lead with the UKF against OKW, no mean feat. You know, it's not every game you can count on that. So some smooth moves there from Hans. That is nicely done. Vickers gun going to be moving on out here to recrew this point. He knows that there are enemy forces in the area, the Jaeger light infantry here. They're going to start getting hooned on by the Tommies, but now the flak half track is on the field. Sprint is used here to relocate into some heavy cover where these where these Jaeger lights will want to take this fight from. Now bear in mind, of course, by taking the fight from this side of the building, he's also somewhat limiting the number of Tommies who can shoot. Oh no, there's still all of the Tommies shooting at him. But he's actually winning this fight. Jaeger lights are no slouches. There we go, now it's equalized. But you know, no slouches all the same. Here comes that flak half track, which I was talking about earlier, dragging some poor Tommy under its tracks. Going to get up into a nice position here. Hans sees it and is going to get the Tommies out of that building, denying any possible shots from the spicy half track. But yeah, PanzerGrenadierAngreifen off to a fantastic start here. Anytime, he's had to rebuild the sniper. Risky tactics here. Hans is going to double down, and he's got an AEC coming, and that will nicely counter this flank half track. So I do like that. I do like that a lot. It's not often we see this flak half track, and I am heartened to see PanzerGrenadierAngreifen try it, because he's a player who knows his stuff. He's got some SDGs now coming up onto his Volksgrenadiers. Remember that, of course, the change since the most recent patch. That is what Volksgrenadiers get. No Shreks, just the SDGs, which, to be fair, are pretty good, actually. Everyone likes an SDG. Let's check the tech here for Hans. So obviously the platoon command post is finished because we've got snipers and AECs and things on the go. No sign of weapon racks or 5-man squads just yet, so he's content right now to make do with the pretty fragile Tommies. I mean, they're still good in a fight and everything, but you have to be very careful with them. Whoa, instant fallback coming down on these Tommies. That's oh, I see. It's because they were caught in a horrible position here between lots of Jaeger lights and Volksgrenadiers. So I suppose that's why they got out of there. Now Storm Pioneers are in the hood, though. They're going to actually garrison this building. Uh-oh, these Tommies in a bit of jeopardy here. They're going to fall back. They will be safe, I would have thought. It's very unlikely that they'll all get picked off on the retreat here. AEC makes itself known, finds the flak half track. So this could be the first fuel exchange of the game. AEC rounds the corner. The turret tracks, takes a shot. That's going to be a miss. The AEC is going to pursue here. I can't see any mines, but there is a Rakettenwerfer waiting. Rakettenwerfer gets a fantastic hit. Smoke is popped. Scout car stays for one more attack ground round, and then GTFO. Oh, Hans. Oh, wow. You know, not many players would have picked up that kill. Popping smoke and then using an attack ground round through the smoke is very, very spicy. I probably wouldn't have been able to put that one together. So he gets the AEC out. He keeps the, he gets the flak half-track kill. So that's really nice. This Rakettenwerfer is going to go into stalk mode here and see if it can find the AEC. But unless Hans has fallen asleep, it shouldn't get tagged by anything. So that's pretty nice. Axis forces, though, have caught up a bit on the victory point stake, and Greifen has managed to grab himself some short tenure on the southern 2 victory points. Flamethrower has come down onto the engineers, and that means it's the Mobile Assault Regiment. That's right, people. Today we shall fight in the shade. Our land mattresses will blot out the sky. That's what's going to be happening here for Helping Hands. When he gets to 8 CPs. I am exaggerating slightly, but these land mattresses are still very fearsome, very intimidating, and very scary to deal with. Even though they now arrive at 8 CPs, not 5. God damn, arriving at 5 CPs was just like... there's spicy, and then there's like just so intensely ridiculously spicy that no one would ever want to eat it ever. And those round mattresses coming in at 5 CPs were an example of the latter. What a convoluted simile you've got going there for anyone else. Ridiculous. But anyway, let's see. MG34 here going to be hooning on into these Volksgrenadiers here. Just chipping them down. He's going to relocate. Was that some... Oh, yeah, there are shoe mines on this road, so that's worth noting. They could come into play later. AEC going to just be rolling on in here. Oh, he has no fear with that, does he? Rakettenwerfer is in position and does have line of sight. Oh, Hans, really? Oh. Probing forwards with this is very risky. He's going to get it out. Yeah, he's going to get it out. And here comes the next Forever Max Schlepper. So let's see, we're probably going to see the flak half-track by judging... the flak HQ. Judging on the positioning here, it'll be the Schwerer Panzer HQ. And that's a nice position for it. Fight going on up here in the north. Vickers gun, checking away. Number of Axis units in the arc here. 2 squads of Volksgrenadiers. Storm Pioneers also on the flank. If they wanted to, they could get around this building and start putting some pressure onto the Maxim. I would have liked that quite a lot here from Angreifen. The Volksgrenadier is going to deal with the Tommies, and that leaves just the Vickers. The SAS Sniper, the man from Scotland, going to come around from the side here and try and get some shots into this fight to assist. And the AEC likewise coming across. Infiltration grenade package forces the Vickers out of this fight. And now it's the AEC and the Sniper forcing the Volks out of the fight. Storm Pioneers split north, thinking about going for a VP grab. Seemingly no interest. I imagine the AEC is just going to push them aside momentarily. Mine detector just now finishing, so Hans finally has a way of seeing and defusing the shoe mines, which are kind of appearing everywhere. An attempted shoe mine deployment there, but the AEC finds the Storm Pioneers in the middle of the act, catches them red-handed, and is going to force them away. Now let's see. Royal Engineers in the building, going to be flaminating the Rakettenwerfer here, forcing it back. That's very nice. This game actually so far very even, I think. Both players, you know, off to a pretty good start. Hans possibly getting the upper side of a lot of these fights. Damn, he's up to 2 snipers. Oh, damn. I mean, I know snipers are good against overcommand, but ooh. And he's already lost 1, so he's actually built 3 snipers this game. How has he built 3 snipers? And he still has 2 Tommies, a Vickers, 2 Royal Engineers, a gun, and an AC. I feel like I never have this much manpower when I play as Brits. Oh, to be as good as Hans. Anyway, here come the SAS snipers. Going to start gibbing these Jaeger light infantry. No fear, standing right next to each other, running into an MG a little bit as well. Going to start gibbing the crew on that one as well. Storm Pioneers coming around up to the north, so Hans has to be a touch careful here. AEC is now repaired. The Schwerer Panzer HQ did deploy in the location we thought it might, so looks like, let's see, the fuel reserve's not that great right now for Angreifen. We're a long ways away from a Jagdpanzer or a Panzer IV, and even further away from a Panther, so no danger of anything like that coming down anytime soon. Vickers gun here with a very well-timed fallback, going to dodge the worst of the infiltration grenade package, but forced back nonetheless. Modified M6 mines are in front of this building here. They're being revealed by something. What on earth is revealing those? I'm not actually sure what was revealing those mines. But yeah, M6 mines there in a spicy position. We've still got the shoe mines here, just kind of mine watch here. Magpie 842 making sure that everybody knows where all the mines are, or trying at least. He's probably like missed some crucial ones. And why is he talking about himself in the third person? Don't you find it so annoying when people do that? I'm sure he'll stop soon. I'm sure he will. Let's see. So now it seems like, okay, so the story of this game changing slightly. Off the back of just several fights where he's coming out slightly more efficient, Hans is creeping up. If you look at the minimap, turning more and more red. Grabbing himself a triple cap here. Going to be forcing the Axis player further and further behind on VPs. AEC in the hood. Some Tommies getting suppressed by an MG34. Large amount of Axis infantry coming into the hood, complete with Rakettenwerfer to push back this AEC. Biff, the first rocket, actually going to be a miss. That's going to enable Hans to get the little scout car out of there. Takes 1 hit. And it looks like just like that, the Axis player is going to secure himself this southern VP. This this MG34 will get set up with a pretty nice arc. I think I would have liked it behind the sandbags a little more, but this is not the end of the world. Volksgrenadiers in the hood, Flaminator engineers here. Likewise, they could use some attack ground here. Yeah, they're going to flame over the fence here, so that's quite cool. Tommies are likewise in the hood, so everything Hans needs here to push this position. The rest of the map looks mostly static at the moment, pretty stagnant. Not a lot going on. AEC still taking shots here. He has to be careful, though. The Rakettenwerfer is going to use camo to get up into a very nice position. Uh-oh. Biff. Oh, it's a miss. Crucially unlucky for PanzerGrenadierAngreifen. I don't think it would have killed the AEC, but it may have broken its engine by taking it onto such low health. And that is slightly unfortunate. It also would have forced it out of the fight. A light gun has now arrived, so the indirect fire is going to start being a thing. That's going to be quite useful against these snipers. You know, the chance that, you might just get a hit. Look at how puny the blasts on these are. They're so bad. And the rate of fire is so low. I'm sorry, I just think that the light is just terrible. Let's look at the epic blast. Like, that landed like 2 meters away from that Tommy and it did nothing. I guess they are in cover. Okay, it just blew up their cover and it did nothing. The lag is just terrible. Anyway. It's like, compared to even a GR34, it's just... anyway, Magpie, stop going on about how bad the lag is. I'm sure everybody knows by now, since you always go on about it. Lol. Anyway, here comes the quarter-pounder or 6-pounder anti-tank gun. What is he doing with that? What's he firing at? Oh, he's just kind of firing it out into the fog of war. Interesting. That will reveal it for the light gun, which gets a hit on this Vickers crew at last.
We're losing a capture point.
Looks like PanzerGrenadierAngreifen going to send some forces up to the north. Storm Pioneers, Volksgrenadiers going to be fanning on out. There are mines here. Modified M6. That is being revealed right now by the Storm Pioneers, so there's no danger of those actually hurting the Volksgrenadiers. So he probably wants to defuse those when he can. A lot of Axis infantry here. Oh, here come the 50 cals. Ooh, no hits, though, on the Volksgrenadiers. Oh, he's aiming at the mines. Hans knows that the mines are there. Right. Or at least he strongly suspected. I don't know if he knew for sure or he just strongly suspected. But anyway. Double lag. Oh no. Sorry, that's a Rakettenwerfer. Get your shit together, Magpie. I thought that was a second lag coming out. But we've got a Cromwell tank. So that obviously means that the company command post has finished for Helping Hands. Cromwell going to be the medium tank of choice here for the British player, and you've got to think that that'll do quite well. But oh, the counter pick! How does he know? It's like he knows. PanzerGrenadierAngreifen here. I guess he knows that his fuel control hasn't been great. The Allied player is going to come out with a vehicle of some sort, an armoured vehicle of some sort. The Jagdpanzer is also quite useful against the AC, which already exists, which makes it a pretty firmly good choice here. 135 fuel, cheaper than a Panzer IV, higher rate of fire, better range, better accuracy, better penetration when it comes to picking off tanks. And once you start getting some veterancy on the Jagdpanzer, turns into quite the spicy unit. So, I'm always happy to see a Jagdpanzer on the build queue, almost always happy. And I think it's underrepresented, like criminally underrepresented. It's just a great unit. For my money, I actually think it is the best tank hunter in the game. You know, the Jackson's incredibly good, and the Firefly also is amazing. In fact, the Firefly is probably strictly better. But I just love microing a Jagdpanzer. They're just so good. Anyway, here comes the Cromwell. Spicy camo on that unit. Very nice to see. Very nicely done by Hans. Schumbugger's got us marked. Oh, you silly bugger. Right, God blimey, governor. It's only the British forces, isn't it? Oh, this Volksgrenadier squad on a pixel of health. Going to escape, though, so a nice escape there. And Rakettenwerfer in a nice position is going to force the Cromwell back for now. Where's the Jagdpanzer going to position itself? Panzergrau, resplendent on that unit. In mid, oh, the AC thought about making itself known. Going to leave it for now. Jagdpanzer, yeah, that was a little ballsy. You've got to keep this thing back. If it ever gets flanked, it is just, you know, really, really bad. But as long as you can keep opponents in front of this gun, man, is it a useful unit to have this thing. Light gun here takes some shots, kind of hits these engineers-ish, does like a modicum of damage, about the same as a stiff, slightly dry breeze on a sunny day. Yes, very good. But the real story, of course, is if I crack the map, you can see the triple cap in effect here for Helping Hands, which means that the scoreline now open at 275 for PanzerGrenadierAngreifen, under 458 for Helping Hands. So he's in a pretty risky position. He needs to get some map control quickly. To that end, he's going to grab the Southern VP. Storm Pioneers, MG34 going to be here, but there's a Cromwell. The Rakettenwerfer's in the hood, though, and the Jagdpanzer is relocated down to the south, is thinking about pushing in. This is a risky area of map for Jagdpanzer, though. Lots of big line of sight blockers. Means its pathing is pretty screwy, and also it's very easy to flank it. So you've got to be turbo careful with the Jagdpanzer in this area of the map. But PanzerGrenadierAngreifen is supporting it nicely, so I don't mind that at all. Put a bit of a push coming up here in the south as well. Jaeger Lights plus some Volksgrenadiers going to be trying to make something happen. Tommies are here to respond, though. And, oh, there's even more Volksgrenadiers. So, okay, Angreifen with a very real chance of getting some work done up at the north. These two SAS snipers, I have to say from Hands, just 10 kills, but no, sorry, 12 kills between them. I'm not sure exactly how good they've been. They haven't seemingly like felt that active this game. I don't know. I'm just a little just like slightly unsure, I guess, of what that one is, or what these units have been doing to justify their existence. Helping Hands would know a lot more about that than I. And sometimes having the units doesn't, and even if they haven't got, you know, any real work done, doesn't necessarily mean they were a bad choice, because they might be kind of like the linchpin of covering a certain weakness to this build or something like that. So Helping Hands probably has a great reason for having them. I'm just not sure that I've spotted what that is yet. Land Mattress, though, going to be coming out onto the field, so the very, very spicy indirect rocket piece going to be here. That's going to enable quite a lot of momentum to be put forward here for Helping Hands. PanzerGrenadierAngreifen is going to have to find some way of reaching out and touching that land mattress, because otherwise, you know, he can bombard the Schwerer Panzer HQ, he can bombard the light gun, he can bombard any concentration of Axis infantry that he sees, you know, targets of opportunity. So, anyway, land mattress is going to deploy itself here. Is he going to use it? I don't think that's a good place to fire it. Here's an Ostwind, though, for Angreifen. Didn't expect this, but of course he has gone for the Scavenge Doctrine, so the Panzer IV Ostwind is an option afforded to him by that commander, and it is really good. Like, the Overcommand Ostwind is a joy. You know, having 5 stars of veterancy up on that thing is really good. Anyway, Cromwell has no fear of these Jägerlight infantry. They do not have a Panzerfaust or anything else they can really use to touch the medium tank there, so that's going to force them back. There's also the 6-pounder here in a nice position. Axis infantry has taken this South VP, which they're going to hold. The are those shoe mines? A couple of Royal Engineers getting blown up by the shoe mines. MG34 going to be defending this victory point very nicely. Here comes the Ostwind, going to start firing its flak shells into this building. Cromwell gets some nice hits here. Oh, how is that? How is that Raketenwerfer escaping? And the land mattress is going to barrage the hard point here of the Axis player. No big hits seen yet. Looks like the light gun probably going to survive just okay. Somehow that Raketenwerfer also getting out of there, so I'll turn my attention back to the action. This MG now suppressing the hell out of these Tommies, and the Royal Engineers probably won't be any use here. Actually, these guys getting cut down to size in a hurry. Han's going to get them out of there just in the nick of time, so that's nice. But we've got fighting going on across a large, sort of broad section of the middle of the map right now, so pretty interesting. Going to be a real test of the micromanagement and unit awareness for both players here. The Ostwind supporting nicely from south, but the 6-pounder catches it in arc. 6-pounder's not going to last long against these kind of flak shells, though. That's going to go down. Tommies are forced back. The Cromwell here could have been exposed, but I don't think the Axis player knows it's there. Otherwise, this Jagdpanzer could have pushed forward for another shot. And for him, he's just going to use the Jagdpanzer right now, just to destroy the anti-tank gun of the British forces, prevent a recall on that. This light gun actually coming forward to try and cap a point in a little bit of a bad place. That is actually going to get 2 of its crewmen killed. It's not going to lose the veterancy, though, so that's the important bit. He's not going to recrew this? Oh, that's not a battle group at HQ. Whoops. So, I don't know what the plan is for this light gun. I guess time will tell on that one. Jagdpanzer here is going to take some shots at this fuel depot, I'm sure. This fuel cache. Hans has been very good about his fuel caches, actually. There's 2 of them on the map right now. That's pretty cool. Okay, so the Cromwell's going to come around the side here. And going to come in for some shots on these. These guys are very clustered up, actually. First shell off of the Cromwell doing good damage. Jagdpanzer's here, though. Now there's 2 Cromwells, though. The one Cromwell gets behind the Jagdpanzer. That's dangerous times. Oh, Hans here with the nice positioning. Oh, dearie me. Oh, no. I think he needed to turn the Jagdpanzer like this. Like, get it going backwards, like, in this direction. Oh, dear. Now it's just going to get circled straight to death horribly by 2 mediums. A Raketenwerfer is here. Heavy damage on one of the Cromwells. Actually, one of them getting taken out. How is this Jagdpanzer still alive? Now it's got its frontal armor. Oh, my goodness. Facing the Cromwell. Raketenwerfer connects with another shot. Somehow the engine is broken. Jagdpanzer is on the pursuit. And that's 2 Cromwells down for virtually nothing, for a situation I thought for sure Helping Hands had that one. Wow. That Jagdpanzer just survived for ages, and the clutch Raketenwerfer in the church was all she needed there. For PanzerGrenadierAngreifen to take a fantastic fight, and those tables, they are turning. Axis forces now pushing across the map. He's grabbing the munitions point, he's grabbing the fuel point in the north. The Ostwind is pressuring mid. In the south, there's light gun has pushed up and grabbed a point and is now opening fire onto the middle of the map, actually besieging down these fuel caches, which are going to be crucial for Helping Hands, because, you know, he needs fuel now to replace the 2 tanks he lost. He has no armored units, really. Well, unless you count the AEC, which I would say is kind of lightly armored. And because of the fact that it is lightly armored, oh god, it's going to lose the fight against the Ostwind. The Jagdpanzer comes in, boom. That is going to be the killing blow on the British scout car. And now there's just one AT gun as the entire AT for Hans. I mean, Hans is a gritty, determined, and great player. He's come back from a lot worse of situations than this, so I've got faith in him. But the Ostwind Jagdpanzer 1-2 punch combo, this is something which I'm very like a big fan of when I play Overcommand, because obviously the Ostwind provides your anti-infantry cover, whilst the Jagdpanzer is very hard anti-tank cover. So, you know, together they do make a very good, very spicy team. And that was actually the thing which, when I first got this Scavenge Commander, I was like, hang on a second, the Ostwind seems innocuous, but it's actually just the thing that Overcommand forces need, because they already have the Jagdpanzer, so you can pair those two up. And you know, for I would say a good 3 or 4 months, the Scavenge Commander with this kind of tactic was all I was using when Overcommand were a little bit younger in the game than they are now. Anyway, enough of a trip down nostalgia lane there. So, okay, so the Scottish sniper's doing some work up in the north. Hans is going to, by the look of it, take command of the north of the map again. He's under a triple cap. He is under a triple cap, and the score right now, 250 for Angreifen, 294 for Hans. So Angreifen has that triple cap, and he is closing the gap, which is quite nice. The light gun there, getting a near miss, which did basically nothing. 5 kills on this thing, which has been firing all game. It's so bad. Oh dear. Anyway, rocket artillery comes down on the building. Jaeger light infantry, oh, do get gunned down. So the land mattress actually finally beginning to pay off a bit there. Even getting some hits on the Ostwind. Ouch, doing good damage. That has actually vetted up the land mattress. Those 2 hits on the Ostwind making a big difference there. And I believe that lets it fire more rapidly. Yes, so those 2 hits on the Ostwind actually surprisingly relevant, because that's going to enable it to fire its subsequent barrages faster. So just bringing it up into 1-star veterancy, into the bracket there, means that thing's going to be a lot more efficient. So those 2 hits on the Ostwind, pretty big. Another Cromwell going to be the choice. I don't know about taking a Cromwell in the face of a Jagdpanzer and a 2-star Rakettenwerfer that you know about. I just don't know. I mean, the Cromwell's exactly the kind of unit that those units will prey upon. Sniper going to take a shot at these retreating Jaeger lights. Oh, okay, they get out of there. Sniper not going to take a shot. Anyway, here comes the cruiser. Oh, I love the way they got those engine backfires on there. It's so cool. But Hans's map control is like almost non-existent. The mechanized regiment HQ has been deployed in a forward position. The fuel income right now for Angreifen, pretty spicy. Plus 35 over the plus 10 for the British player. And he now has all of those tech buildings. And he has like a decent armored core to begin with. You know, he's got the Jagdpanzer, he's got the Ostwind. So for sure he'll be saving for King Tiger now, I would have thought. I'd be very surprised to see okay, just as I say that, it's going to be a Werferman rocket truck. And I actually like this a lot more than the King Tiger. It comes out a lot sooner. It provides a whole new dimension to his army. It's not like he needs additional armored might at this point. And yeah, I like this. I like the rocket truck choice much better. PanzerGrenadierAngreifen here, fighting clever, and it's nice to see. And it is nice to see. Now, 200 points remaining for the British forces. Hans finds himself a little falling behind here in the VP stakes. The 6-pounder gets a nice hit on the Ostwind as it comes into the fight. Rakettenwerfer also in the fight here. It's going to try and push back this Cromwell. The Ostwind takes a number of hits here. Jagdpanzer kind of lurking at the back, but this building bang in the way. Whoa! Cromwell takes 1 too many hits. The Rakettenwerfers, you cannot underestimate them. And now here comes the Jagdpanzer. It's hunting for a Cromwell. It could take the shot here. Oh, he's not going to find it though. No line of sight. Remember, it's at 2-star veterancy that they get the line of sight bonus on the Jagdpanzers, which makes such a big difference. It really makes a huge difference. It makes them into just intensely good spotting units. Anyway, so alright, now the lines here just holding tight for Hans. Storm Pioneer is going to get a flank on this MG, and that's pretty annoying. The MG is suppressing some Jaeger lights, but not for long. The light gun also picking them down. Okay, the 2 snipers force back the Storm Pioneers. And now these Jaeger lights are going to expose themselves to the snipers. Oh, this doesn't seem wise. One of them gets picked down, and there are 2 snipers. Werferman rockets are firing. You can see the shadows on your screen now. He's going to find a good hit on the 6-pounder. Does kill the crew on that one. So a nice opening barrage there from the rocket truck. Very nicely taken there from Angreifen. Now, Hans is, of course, going to be able to reman that, but, you know, he doesn't exactly have all the manpower in the world. He doesn't really want to be forced to have to do that. Jagdpanzer are going to come forward. Okay, he wants to kill off the 6-pounder, I think. That wasn't the right 6-pounder, though. There we go, now he's found it. So he kills that 6-pounder. But Hans already had bought a replacement, so he still has some AT. The Cromwell here is going to get repaired. That's crucial. So the Cromwell's going to be ready and in tip-top fighting condition. Ostwind now gets its 2-star veterancy, and that's when it gets its most important change, in my opinion. It gets the increased rate of fire, which ups its DPS considerably. Just makes it a much more fearsome, much more dangerous, and much more efficient unit. And also, once it gets to 2-star, it's actually much easier to get it to 3 and 4-star because, because of that extra damage. So at least it feels that way to me. These light guns are just so whiffy. Somehow it's up to 2 stars and 7 kills after, like, I don't know, 20 minutes of shooting. Woo. Oh, look at that. Like, that shot landed, like, pretty much in the middle of this squad here, and it just like, the Tommies are just like, what? Anyway, Land Mattress here going to be taking some shots, finds the Lig. All we need is a good hit off from one of these rockets, but I can't see that one is actually forthcoming. A couple of near misses doing some splash damage. So apparently it's not just the Lig that can't find a hit here. The Land Mattress also just unable to find that Lig at all. Put some damage on it for sure, but that is not what Hans was looking for there at all. As I just pause here for a sip on my drink. Ah, that's better. So we've got an MG off here, and that's one that the Vickers should win. It is just better, but here comes some Jaegerlights. That's going to turn that fight. Meanwhile, up in the north, these Royal Engineers are going to be pushed away by an Ostwind. The Jagdpanzer is also here for backup in case the Cromwell is committed to take care of the Ostwind, but actually the Cromwell's going to head south into the middle of the map. Going to start taking some shots into these guys. Keep an eye on this fuel level for the Axis player, by the way. It is just creeping on up. We're getting towards Tiger Fuel here. So that is something to keep an eye on as this game goes long. Helping Hands are almost up to enough fuel though for another Cromwell. I believe there are 110. That's a Comet. Cromwell, yeah, 110 for a Cromwell. They're so good. I love Cromwells. But this Cromwell right now caught out. Here comes the Jagdpanzer, and it's looking for blood. 6-pounder in the hood, though. Should force that one back. Biff, there it goes. Now, I bet he wishes he had some kind of anti-tank snare, like an anti-tank grenade or a Panzerfaust on these Tommies, but that is not a luxury afforded to British players. 1-star veterancy is done on the Jagdpanzer. That's going to enable it to engage the Predator active camouflage system there. Historically accurate as ever. Incendiary grenade's going to come down. Is that the Werferman? Oh, no. That's the 105mm heavy boom call-in, the afforded to the Scavenge commander there. So that's what's going to be used there for PanzerGrenadierAngreifen. No immediate damage. This Jagdpanzer, though, doing great hits against this Cromwell, which is on such low health now. Rakettenwerfer also getting set up in the hood to try and take care of that. It's a 3-star Rakettenwerfer as well. This Cromwell just needs to get out, but I don't think it will be able to. Uh-oh, the Axis player sees it. Oh, that's so a dead Cromwell, surely, unless somehow it gets the crew. It doesn't get the crew. It's got to be a dead Cromwell. No, the fullback comes down. How is this Cromwell still alive? Now commandos are here just taking names and trying to pick off this crew. They get the 3-star Rakettenwerfer. Hans makes something happen here. Jagdpanzer is going to chase, but the Cromwell is actually long gone and is in the rear armor of this Flak Panzer. He gets the Flak Panzer with this no-health Cromwell, absolutely redeeming himself for the Cromwell plays earlier. Oh my goodness, and now, the squad wipe comes down on the Jaegerlights. Some sort of call-in comes down here. Is he actually going to go for this Jagdpanzer? This is a shout too far. He'll never... He gets the Jagdpanzer with the no-health Cromwell. Now the rocket barrage comes down, and he survives that as well. I honestly thought that rocket might, like, plumb hit the Cromwell and take it out, and that would have been, like, the end of such an epic Cromwell run. But no! Holy spoons! That Cromwell just went on the run of its lifetime. Just kind of cleaned up, like, just pretty much... What? Hans just pulled a fight out the box. And he's in no danger of being pushed out of this game anytime soon then. The score, pretty much as near as makes no difference. 100 VPs for Hans versus 226 for PanzerGrenadierAngreifen. So this game actually still with some game to play here. Hans pulling himself back into it. The Cromwell's going to go and repair. Hans actually has a lot of munitions. He could start spending them on stuff. I don't really know what, but things. Land Mattress here just going to be used to deny a VP, as they're so good at doing, just like repeatedly flailing like absolute, like ridiculous volumes of rockets now, just streaming on in. That is a ridiculous unit. And I like the inclusion of these infiltration commandos into the mix. They are really useful. Look, see, they're going to get the drop on these Jaeger lights in just a second here if they want to. Remember, because of course they do have camo. So here they go. They've been revealed, Hans. Might want to start shooting. There we go. Actually, I tell you what, 3-star Jaeger lights actually put up one hell of a fight. Gammon bomb comes down, but it is a forlorn gammon bomb. Boom, going to force the fallback on the Jaeger lights though. And now this 6-pounder kind of going to be caught out. A couple of Storm Pioneers going to be able to overrun it here. Sniper coming across to cover. 23 kills on this sniper. Safe to say that this one was worth it. His comrade has died somewhere though. Sorry for missing that one, but it wouldn't be a Magpie cast, as somebody recently said in the comments. It wouldn't be a Magpie cast unless I missed some really obvious squad wipes, usually occurring on the screen, in the middle of the screen, right in front of my very eyes. So yeah, a Scottish Assault Squad sniper has gone down somewhere. You know, who cares about the specifics, right? Let's crack the tack here, because we've got a moment of quiet. Both armies just now kind of repositioning, reinforcing, repairing, all of that kind of stuff. Looks like Angreifen will be thinking about making a move out to the north. He's kind of moving out with these Jaeger lights when they are not fully reinforced there. That's a touch awkward. And actually, he's got tons of manpower, so this has to be a mistake. That's a touch awkward there. And that is a KT, right? Yeah, here comes the King Tiger moving onto the field. That very quiet engine, utterly silent, in fact. So the King Tiger has been chosen. Angreifen here is going to have a heavy tank to his name. And that's going to be very difficult times for Hans, you know. He's still down. He basically has half the VPs of his opponent. And he doesn't have a real answer for a King Tiger. Okay, he's got a 6-pounder. Okay, he's got a Cromwell. But that does not a King Tiger beat. Uh-oh. Oh, the Werferman Barrage finds the AT gun, finds the Vickers. Getting the AT gun, not the Vickers, but that's still pretty good. KT here reveals itself against the Cromwell. Going to take one more shot. Just hooning around on into the medium tank. That's going to force the Cromwell out of there. Repairs needed. Some decent veterancy now appearing on the King Tiger. So 2 good hits there. That's very nice. That's how you want your KT to enter the battlefield. And PanzerGrenadierAngreifen, I mean, if he would just, like, have a couple more infantry squads, I'd feel so good about his position. He has managed to keep his core Volk squads alive. How has he not managed to buy these guys SDGs? They're on 4 stars. Buy them some SDGs for the love of God. Anyway, yeah, so, you know, and his core infantry, as I was saying, and the veterancy on them is still good. The Storm Pioneers 2 stars, these Jaeger Lights 3 stars. So I don't mind that at all. And now he's got some time, because he's got more VPs. And he also has a King Tiger. So he can kind of apply slow push pressure in mid and north and kind of just pressure Hans out of the game, perhaps. We'll have to see. I mean, he actually holds south. Some Tommies are just now coming to reclaim south here, sneaking around the building in case there was a machine gun here, but there isn't one. So Hans is going to be able to threaten that VP again. King Tiger has been forced to reposition by the 6-pounder that was taking pot shots up in the north. And this fight is going to become a very tactical fight. Look for where the players send their units, how they decide to distribute their assets here, because that is going to be what decides the outcome of this game. Finally, the Lig gets killed by the land mattress. That Lig hadn't been firing for ages because it was too close up against this building. So actually, that was basically a dead Lig anyway. And now there's a Firefly complete. Oh wow! Oh, that changes things considerably. The Firefly is going to do a lot of work against that King Tiger if Hans can get it to. King Tiger is going to come down to the south here and is going to push away these Tommies. Now, they have completed the cap, but there are some Storm Pioneers here who can retake this, possibly whilst even repairing the King Tiger for maximum efficiency there. Tulips finish up on the Firefly. Curious to see that Hans actually favouring the Tulips over the Tank Commander upgrade. I usually get them the other way around. Werferman Barrage slamming home. Vickers gun caught in arc. He's going to stay and grab the VP. Now he technically has a triple cap, but it won't be for long. There we go, triple cap broken, not for long at all. But yeah, he did have a VP there. Sorry, did have a hit off the Rakettenwerfer, so there goes the Vickers gun. Going to have to fall back. Nice fight being taken here, though, by Hans. Snipers supporting, Cromwell sweeping, and the King Tiger out of position at the moment, kind of waddling around in middle. The land mattress gets killed by the heavy artillery call-in. I mean, PanzerGrenadierAngreifen here definitely fighting from the underdog position, by the way, in case I hadn't made that clear. He is behind. Like, his army is just not as good as this British army here. But, I mean, he still has some victory points to work with. He has some time. He can still definitely try and make plays here. And that's what he's doing with these Jaeger Light infantry, just trying to take me out. I don't know why he's on hold fire necessarily. I wouldn't mind him just trying to take some shots here. Yeah, King Tiger is now making its presence felt in mid, and he's actually grabbed south as well, has Angreifen, so he is no longer going to be under the effects He's no longer going to be hemorrhaging VPs, basically, is what I mean. And what's the choice now? You know, he's got enough fuel. He could call in another Ostwind. It depends, like... And I open question to people watching. Do you think a more infantry is going to be worth most here? Maybe even an MG34 here, so he could, you know, cover one of the top or mid VPs. Or is it better to prioritize getting an armored vehicle out because they have the higher net power? I don't know. Tough choices. Looks like he's actually going to go for a second Jagdpanzer. Angreifen. That's a interesting choice. Jagdpanzers usually take a little longer to pay for themselves, so he's going to say that this game's going to go on longer. I like this a lot, though, actually. Jagdpanzer plus King Tiger makes life very hard for Hans, even with this Firefly. So this is a gamble here from Angreifen. He says, I'm going to survive long enough for me to get this Jagdpanzer out and be able to take a fight, a coordinated fight, using both my KT and my Jagdpanzer to attain map dominance and push you out of the game. That is Angreifen's line of play here, as he actually secures the northern VP as well. So Angreifen here with the spicy plays. The KT is just going to garrison south, and this is a very safe area for the KT, because as I was saying earlier on in the game, this is a bad area of the map for the Jagdpanzer. It's also quite a bad area for the Firefly. The lines of sight here are all too short, and it's very easy to flank or get round to the sides or rear of a tank destroyer in that area. So by keeping the King Tiger down there, I mean, it's like the Firefly really can't do that much. Gammon Bomb going to be used to ward off mid here. Rakettenwerfer here going to take another barrage. He's probably aiming at this AT gun. Oh, he gets it again! So good at killing 6-pounders with this Rakettenwerfer. Sorry, with this Werferman. That Werferman has killed so many killed so many 6-pounders. That's kind of mad, actually. I think this is a conscious decision, by the way. I think Angreifen likes to have one squad with STG-44s and one squad without, because otherwise he would have taken those STGs by now. So I guess he's prioritizing the ability to pick up additional weapons that get dropped, and also prioritizing the rifle fire on these Volks, overtaking the STGs there. Very interesting, very interesting.
Where do you want us?
So the Jagdpanzer makes a poke up to the north, but doesn't... I mean, there's nothing here, really. That was kind of risky, actually. I don't know why it was rallied up there. There was probably a good reason for it, though. King Tiger gonna come across here to mid, and now, with the KT, if he parks the Jagdpanzer, like here-ish, here is quite good, and then fights with the KT, the Jagdpanzer can cover the KT in a fight very nicely. Now, the Firefly is here. The King Tiger, as soon as it makes itself known, or even just before, is going to take a stinging blow from that Firefly. The high-velocity cannon on that thing makes big holes, even in the heaviest armor in the game. There it is. Wow, having said that, a bounce coming down. Wow, Hans has also recruited this Rakettenwerfer, which is a nice touch. The King Tiger, though, beginning to take some sweet shots into these infantry units. He's going to have to be careful. Whoa, the sniper could get caught out. He's going to come forward. Actually, he wants the Rakettenwerfer, and I can't blame him. The Jaeger Lights should be able to finish the job if they focus fire. Ah, the Tulips come through, and remember, those inflict a vehicle blind and stun now. Jagdpanzer are going to come in for support, and that's going to force back the Firefly. So the Jagdpanzer here definitely pulling its weight in this fight already. Remember, the distance, the line of sight which these guys provide is very good. These Jaeger Lights... And so he's going to sprint here to provide line of sight so that he knows where all the armor is, using the Jagdpanzer as a sniping platform. Wow, he's actually chasing down this sniper, I believe. That's what he's going for, perhaps. Very nice fight being taken here by Angreifen. Very tactical.
Enemy causing trouble.
And he's going to be able to take mid behind this. Oh, he picks off the retreating unit of Royal Engineers. Oh, man. Making these Jaeger-Light infantry look so good. Clearly very experienced at using them. King Tiger is in the hood, but it's on low health, so he has to be careful. Jagdpanzer comes forward and starts trying to take some shots at the cornered Firefly, which is now on only a third of health. These Tommies just all over this King Tiger, which is a shooting gallery for the gunners on the King Tiger. The coax, the frontal gun, the pintle mount gun, all chewing up the British infantry here. And now it's going to romp forwards. There's a Kettenwerfer in position, but only 3 men, so it could get swatted down by the first shell. Cromwell comes in and gets a penetrating hit, so now the KT has to play it cautiously. And the way it's turning is actually meaning that the main cannon never got the hit on that Rakettenwerfer. It's now in jeopardy. Very low health. He's going to get out of the Rakettenwerfer's arc, but just just in the nick of time as the heavy boom boom comes down to deal with the weapon teams here, and the Cromwell falls to the Jagdpanzer. Now the Jagdpanzer is going to start chipping down at this Firefly, whose main gun gets destroyed. Angreifen here might just be doing what is needed. The KT needs to get out and repair, though. The Jagdpanzer here going to come for a dive against the Firefly, but it's quite safe really because the Firefly has no main gun and the Jagdpanzer has Predator camo if it needs it. Vickers gun here going to be providing some cover, but the Jagdpanzer, he finds the Firefly, and now there's a Cromwell on the build queue. But damn, I mean, the King Tiger's being repaired. The Jagdpanzer is being good. Just kind of getting chipped down a bit by the sniper here, though. How many kills on that sniper now? 30, it's pretty good. Any vehicles? No, I don't remember it killing a vehicle. Uh-oh, but now the Jaeger Lights are here, and we know what they do to retreating snipers. We've seen it this game. Looks like the shot not going to connect this time. But here comes the the Werferman barrage. Gets some of the Vickers crewmen, but only 2. King Tiger here under fire. Whoa, this looks like a death trap for British infantry. Why would you run your men in here? Uh-oh, the Commando's going to stay for a desperate bundle grenade. Tommy's going to stay and try and decap this, I guess desperate times, but oh, that's the risk when you stay in front of a King Tiger. The gun on that thing is an absolute monster, and it will decimate infantry given a chance. Now the Jagdpanzer is on super low health and does get forced back. Rakettenwerfer creeping into the hood into a very relevant position here, very nice. Now he's going to have some shots here, but I mean, this Jagdpanzer can just kite all day. It's going to kite this Cromwell all day. This is a forlorn Cromwell here. He just wants to kill on the Jagdpanzer, but I'm not sure he'll be able to get it. He gets out of range of the KT. Oh, masterful. Finds like the one arc where that Cromwell was ever going to get a kill there, and he does secure it. The Flak HQ gets the kill on the Cromwell, though, and now the KT's on 2-star. Combat Blitz was used there, actually. Whoa, what a tense battle. Okay, so now we're at 115 for Angreifen, 59 for Hans. But Angreifen's capping north. And the KT lives. And Hans' army actually doesn't. I've just noticed Hans has like no units. And Angreifen has like an army. This is a proper army for Angreifen. I think that's probably game. Because like 20 supply of ragtag British units, which like, okay, it's going to be like 25-ish by the time they get reinforced, does not beat this massive army with fantastic, well, it's not massive, but this very well composed army with very good veterancy here from Angreifen. Something just killed this. Oh, I think that was a bundle grenade, just killed the Rakettenwerfer there, so nice bundle grenade there for Hans. He's going to get the infiltration commandos out of there alive.
We're losing a capture point.
KT is all but repaired now. 6-pounder being added to the roster for Hans, who by all accounts is not giving up. Credit where credit's due. Triple cap going to be established here momentarily, though, for PanzerGrenadierAngreifen, and that is difficulty for Hans. Werferman comes forward to take another barrage here, and you've got to imagine that's probably at the base. Yeah, he's just trying to look for any units that were reinforcing. Not going to find any, so a bit of a speculative, you know, barrage there. Going to roll the dice, but it's low risk. So I don't mind firing that barrage there for Angreifen. I probably would have done the same. This Vickers gun here will be forfeit. The mad power of the King Tiger is just going to be too much. And HelpingHans is going to choose this moment to GG out of the game. You've got to sympathise. He was under a triple cap. 19 VPs remaining. Nothing more that could be done with just this ragtag 4 units that he had left. And HelpingHans playing a very, very good game, but it's not going to be enough. And there were a couple of big swings there for both players. There was a big fight where 2 Cromwells went down for basically no gain, and the Jagdpanzer survived. And that was the fight where HelpingHans, who had been playing very well and looking very strong all game, that was the point at which his dominance became questioned. And then there was another epic fight where the one Cromwell was able to kill the Jagdpanzer and the Ostwind up here in the north, which kind of almost brought it back. But then the King Tiger and the second Jagdpanzer, such a strong composition and so very savvy from PanzerGrenadierAngreifen. It's not very often that we see players who already have a King Tiger go for another Jagdpanzer. The reason being, I mean, the King Tiger represents heavy AT itself, and you normally have, but at that stage in the game, a few other heavy AT units, usually a Rakettenwerfer or even a, another tank or something. But in the absence of another tank, even with the Rakettenwerfer, going for that Jagdpanzer, it just means that it frees the King Tiger up to do what it really wants to do. Like, the King Tiger can shoot at vehicles, but its low rate of fire means that it's quite hard to get kills against enemy vehicles, really, unless your opponent gives you an opportunity. But against infantry squads, the King Tiger has such high DPS, such high power, and the main cannon will just gib enemy squads, sometimes in 1 or 2 hits, which is very, very hard to deal with. No amount of foresight or good fallbacks can properly insulate you from the possibility of squad wipes from a King Tiger. So by freeing the King Tiger up to just fire at infantry and erode away your opponent's core army, and placing like high manpower stress on the already stressed British manpower, Angreifen here was able to come in for a win, and I love that composition. Although, again, credit where credit's due. Finding the one line with this one desperate Cromwell that came through here and picked off the second Jagdpanzer in this location. It was this Cromwell here. Was really nice, and I almost think Hans was unlucky not to get away with it. It was a flak shell from the flak HQ which just took out that Cromwell. So yeah, some really nice moves. HelpingHans is a commander choice. It's a really good commander, and I always run with him on the roster, but what did he really achieve this game? Let's see. I mean, he did put a flamer on some Royal Engineers, which was kind of effective. Nobody uses advanced cover combat. I don't know why. I didn't see it get used by Hans. I don't think he used it. Infiltration commandos were used, but I don't think they were super effective, really. I mean, they got 6 kills. They got a couple of wipes with bundle grenades on weapons teams like that Rakettenwerfer and things, but I'm not sure if they were, ever super great. The land mattress, yeah, he called 1 in. But again, I'm not sure it was super great, really. The Leig was able to survive a number of barrages. It did wipe some Jaeger lights in this location, so that was useful. And it did apply some pressure to this location here, but I'm not even convinced that land mattress was, necessarily very good. And he never used vehicle repairs. So the commander choice here, definitely not worthless, but I'm not sure if it justified or pulled its weight necessarily. I'm not sure that in this occasion the Mobile Assault Regiment really provided Hans with a lot of value. Whereas for PanzerGrenadierAngreifen, this is clearly a commander that he uses time and time again, is very, very experienced with. The thorough salvage was used a little bit. The Jaeger Light Infantry were absolutely pivotal. 5 stars of veterancy on one squad here. And let's not forget, he very cleverly in the early game deployed some Jaeger Lights into this building because he knew that there was a sniper nearby, and he actually got the kill on that sniper with the Jaeger Lights marksman rifle, which was just really cool. The infiltration grenade package was very valuable, the Ostwind was very valuable, and even the 105mm howitzer barrage was very valuable. So it's fair to say, if you just look at the value provided to the two commanders, if you just look at the value provided to the two players by their respective commanders, undoubtedly, I think PanzerGrenadierAngreifen got a lot more value out of his commander. So that is definitely something that helped him, tip the scales in this battle. But a very good game between these two players. A pleasure to watch and a pleasure to cast. So yeah, that just about wraps up this video. Tomorrow I'll be casting some Homeworld Deserts of Karak action, and hopefully another game of Company of Heroes 2 as well. We'll see if I have time. And this for now will be Magpie 842 signing out.